Hi there, you fellers and fill nuts. Today we're going to go down with some quinclorac. This will handle crabgrass is the main thing that people use it for, but it'll also handle a lot of grassy weeds, a lot of broadleaf weeds. It's not safe to use in bahia, which is good because I have bahia grass growing that I don't want to be growing. I want to have Bermuda grass, so it'll kill the bahia. Well, people say it different ways. So we're going to use that because it'll kill a lot of birds with one stone. The other thing we're going to go down with is a surfactant, and I got notes here written down how much of each I need. I need 1.28 ounces of my surfactant and 1.468 ounces of quinclorac for 4,000 square feet. Quinclorac is applied at a rate of 0.367 ounces per square feet. This says that 16 ounces treats 50 gallons of water. So we're using 4 gallons of water. So obviously that's where my math came from there. So we're going 1.28 ounces of our surfactant. So you can also use Dawn dish soap. You don't want the kind that says antimicrobial on it because that'll kill the microbial activity in your yard, and you don't want that. Any dish soap works as a surfactant, but I went with the real stuff because I didn't have any dish soap that was not antimicrobial. On the label of the quinclorac, it says to prevent browning, you can either go down with some nitrogen or some iron. I don't have iron, and we're in a nitrogen restriction here in Central Florida, so I'm going down with just quinclorac. Let me double check my number. 1.468. Alrighty. So this is a soluble solid, is how it's shipped. So you gotta put it into some water and then mix all that up. I'm gonna get a little bit of water for this to mix it up in here. This stuff will also kill St. Augustine grass, which I don't have St. Augustine grass problem in the backyard, but I have St. Augustine in my front yard in the places that it has survived the drought. So I'll likely end up using some of this in the front yard, trying to get all my little granulars that were in there dissolved. We're going to call that good. So quinclorac also says it's safe to use on common Bermuda grass, which is, we're using an improved common here, but it's a common Bermuda grass, even as you're seeding the grass. So I'm not really worried about this damaging the Bermuda at all. I want it to take out crabgrass, the centipede grass, doveweed. It's not going to touch our nut sedge. Unfortunately, quinclorac just won't touch sedges. But pretty much everything back there that is not a sedge, it should do some good damage too. I'm going to dump this in my backpack sprayer, and then I'm actually going to change shoes so that I don't get this stuff all over my feet. And then we'll go spray. So I stole this idea of using a table from the lawn care nut. I don't know why I didn't ever think of it, but it is genius. It makes it easy to mix. It makes it easier to put your backpack sprayer on. It makes it easier for you guys to see. It's really, if you got a table sitting around, it's kind of a genius thing to do. See all the suds forming on there? That's all from the surfactant. I'll make sure we got everything out of this bucket that we need to get out of here. I'm going to go ahead and coat the entire backyard, the whole 4,000 square feet section that we started with, as a broadcast spray to get rid of everything. But you can also use quinclorac as a spot treatment for crabgrass specifically. That's what most people use it for. So we'll let this mix through, make sure that we got our product coming out of the hose and not just straight water. I always rinse my sprayer out with water when I'm done using it, so we want to make sure that when we start spraying here, we got more than just water coming out. Stuff kind of smells good, actually, believe it or not. Alrighty, we'll throw this lid on. I'm going to go change my shoes, take you out of the backyard, and then we'll spray quinclorac. And hopefully it'll knock out a bunch of our issues over there. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Let us spray. New boot goofing. I'm going to spray a little bit of my St. Augustine on the side yard here just to see how detrimental this stuff is to it. Just for funsies. So we're going to spray this whole area just like usual. And we're going to walk this in 2 directions just like typical. Quinclorac says it takes about 5 days, I believe is what it said, to do real damage. 10 days before everything's dead. We're going to put it to the test. Always read the labels on your herbicides. Make sure that what you're putting down is safe for all your plants. This should take out carpet grass. I mean, this will take out just about everything that I needed to take out. All your clovers and stuff. The only thing it's not going to touch is all the sedge that I've got. But we'll put sedge hammer out once we start seeing good rhizomatic activity. I wish that I had a nozzle size that was just a touch bigger than this to increase the droplet size just a little bit. But you work with what you got. This stuff smells good. Much nicer than the last stuff I sprayed down, that's for sure. The reason you use a surfactant when spraying herbicides is because the surfactant causes your chemical to stick to your leaves. So in foliar applications, it's a must. And applications that target roots, that's the kind of thing you want water in. But this is all foliar, so we don't want to water this in. But we do want it to stick on the leaves of the plant so that it's absorbed by the plant and thus kills the plant. Alright, so that's pass number 1 now. Now I'll switch directions and go this way and get the rest of this crap out. So the reason I'm using my backpack sprayer for this, when I don't use my backpack sprayer for when I kill stuff off, is because this is a selective herbicide. It will not harm the grass that I want to grow here. It will only kill the stuff that I don't want to go here. So I'm not worried about cross-contamination, if you will, or if I pick this up and use it for fertilizer, it ends up causing damage to my grass. There's basically no danger of that because of it being a selective herbicide. There we go. Mostly down. I got a little bit left in my backpack, but it's to be expected with a Bauer. But yeah, That's quinclorac application to Bermuda and carpet grass and centipede and bahia, and hopefully we'll clean up a lot of that and we'll be left with Bermuda grass and some sedges. And the sedges we can handle later. There's a ton of crabgrass over here though. I mean, this whole, from here about this wide all the way to over here, it's full of crabgrass. So there's Bermuda mixed in with it, but there's so much freaking crabgrass that Bermuda's getting choked out. And just want to give it the opportunity to not be choked out and to grow. So that's what we're doing. Cool. All right, guys. I don't have my microphone on, so I hope you can hear me. But it's been 3 days since we went down with the quinclorac back here. You see, it mostly looks the same. But I'm standing right here above some crabgrass, and I want to show you guys this. You can see these leaves are starting to go yellow in some spots. It's starting to go brown a little bit. So it gives me hope that quinclorac is doing what quinclorac does. This over here is the same way. It's hard to see on the camera, but it's starting to lose its sheen. This stuff the same way. So I know quinclorac is kind of a slower killer. I say 10 days. But yeah, you can actually, at this angle, see a lot of the white on the top of this big patch of crabgrass that we've got right here. There's also, I don't know if y'all will be able to see it, right in this area, there's a patch of clover, and it's starting to go white on the top too. So hopefully this stuff will start dying pretty quickly. And over there is rain, but it'll probably miss us because over there the sun's shining. So we desperately need some rain. Hopefully that stuff will come down here and give us the rain we so desperately need. Fellers and fell nuts. It's insecticide day. So treating for mosquitoes, ants, and termites. Flying ants and termites are swarming in Florida right now. So we've got the house protected for termites, but just to be extra proactive, I'm going to go ahead and treat the yard for termites. Going with Bifin IT, which is a mosquito. It's a contact killer. It'll actually kill ants as well as grubs, all that stuff. If it's a contact killer. So anything that it comes in contact with, it's going to kill on the insect spectrum. Next thing we're going down with is Dominion. This is our termite application. Goes at a rate of 0.3 ounces per gallon of water. And then we have Seismic. This is a encapsulated chemical. So it has a residual effect for 21 days. This mixes at a rate of 0.8 ounces per gallon of water. I believe the Bifin is 1 ounce per gallon of water. And then this one is 0.3 ounces per gallon of water. This holds 3 gallons. So I'm going to go ahead and put some water in here, get that started, and then we'll come in with our chemicals. You don't want to just dump your chemicals in first because it'll flow straight down your fogging tube, and then you'll just spray chemicals straight out of the tube, and then the rest of it will just be water. It's not what you want. These chemicals I'm familiar with. I used to work for Mosquito Joe back in the day. That's where I learned about these chemicals. Other thing that I learned, you'll notice I'm wearing long pants and long sleeve shirt. I'm going to be wearing this mask. Seismic is a skin irritant. This other stuff is as well. So I've got long sleeves on. I'm going to be wearing a mask. And then as soon as I finish spraying this, I'm going to take a shower so that we can get all the chemical off before it burns me. So yeah, let me get some water in here and then we'll start mixing chemicals. So this is a Tomahawk backpack fogger. The professionals use the steel. However, the steel is 3 or 4 times as expensive as what I paid for this. This is a good option for homeowners. It's not quite as good, I guess. It doesn't spray quite as high or as far, but it does a good job. It does what I need it to do. Mosquitoes will only fly to about 15 feet in height, because above 15 feet, the wind is too strong. So they'll only fly about 15 feet high anyways, and this will reach that no problem. So I got most of my water in there. I'm going to go in with my chemicals, and then we'll fill it up the rest of the way. So seismic, we're going 0.8 ounces per gallon. That's 1, 2, 3. This is a much more economical way of doing this than paying somebody to come out and do it. I think we charged, for my yard, it would probably be $90 to $100 a visit, and they come every 3 weeks. So going down at this rate makes a lot more sense. Just pay for the chemicals and do it yourself. There's 2 ounces. And there's 3 ounces. So these bottles are nice because you tip it, and then you can see how much you've got. Take your cap off, pour it in. The Dominion, I'm going to have to use a measuring cup and a scale to get the right amount, but that's not a big deal. Again, we're only going with 1 ounce of this stuff for the 3 gallons of water. Most of my other treatments, I will not use the Dominion. I will just use Bifin and or seismic. Dominion is just because we got termites swarming in Florida right now. It's filled up the rest of the way. I'm going to put the lid on. Give it a little shake. So this stuff is rainproof as soon as it's dry, which out here will take 15 minutes or so. Don't have to worry about it. Alrighty, I'm going to set you guys up, get this thing started up, and we'll get spraying. Alright, so I'm going to talk about this before I start this machine, just because once I start it, I doubt you're going to be able to hear me. When I'm applying this, I'm just going to give a light mist over all the grass. The shrubs, I'll hit a little heavier. Trees, I'll hit a little heavier. Whatever the grass is, just a quick once over. Really, you don't have to worry about mosquitoes in the grass, but because We have hybrid mosquito and bobcats down here in Florida. I'm going to spray the grass. That way any that land on the grass will end up dead as well. It'll also take care of fleas, ticks, that kind of thing. So bifin really is seismic is really a good chemical. It's what we used for all of our regular applications when we were spraying mosquitoes. That was a quick coat. Whew. So as y'all saw, I had a little bit left at the end. So I went back, sprayed some areas where I felt like I might have gone a little light. Also blasted this area back here. It's just woods back there. That's going to be the most common area where you have mosquito issues. So this stuff will be dry in, like I said, about 15 minutes. Safe for dogs as soon as it's dry. Safe for humans as soon as it's dry. Safe for humans, obviously, to spray it as it is. But yeah, once it's dry, completely inert, doesn't hurt anything, just kills mosquitoes. Forgot to mention this while I was spraying, so I figured I'd mention it while I'm cleaning up. It's not going to get rid of 100% of mosquitoes. You'll still have a straggler that gets through every now and then. But I think mosquitoes typically will fly anywhere from 10 to 40 feet before they come down and before they stop flying for a brief moment. So they'll land on something, and the idea is that when they land on something, they die. So occasionally you'll have one that flies further, or you haven't sprayed a 40-foot boundary on one side, so then you end up getting mosquitoes that way, or there's ways that mosquitoes will get through, but you should see somewhere around a 90 to a 95% reduction in mosquitoes by treating with seismic, which means that if you used to get bit by 20 mosquitoes when you're outside at night, you'll get bit by 1 or 2, which is a gigantic improvement if you ask me. Also, with all the mosquito-borne illnesses that are going around, mosquitoes also cause heartworm in dogs. So it really, to me, is a no-brainer to try and get rid of them. Now, whether you want to pay somebody else to do it and not know what they're spraying, or if you want to do it yourself and do your own research and figure out what to spray, is up to you. But personally, I would rather know what's going in my yard is going to be safe for my dogs and safe for my baby when he gets here. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.